Each week we listen to an album, here's a remind. Just know it's gonna take about 3 hours of your time to hear us complain or praise each other's taste. But no matter what, at the end of the day, we're just best friends who love different music. We are earbuds, earbuds, earbuds. This is Earbuds.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Earbuds. If you're watching this on YouTube, first of all, thank you very much. Please like and subscribe and comment down below. Tell us everything you're thinking about. We want to know, we really do. Good or bad, good or bad. And if you don't want to watch it on YouTube, but you think that's your only option, no. Find us on all podcast platforms and follow us there. You can download the audio-only episodes and listen to them on your way to freaking work, baby.
Oh my God! This is Earbuds.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da, ba-da-ba-ba-da. Throw up your inverted butt cheeks, everyone.
Let's go!
Let's go!
We're Earbuds. I'm Landon.
I'm Joey.
And you're Earbuds too. That's right. If you're watching this, you are in the cone of earbudness.
Yes, and I hope you're not in the glass box where you get in trouble. They're the WWE.
No.
And Logan Paul draws horns on it, and people say he's summoning the devil. And I'm like, how can I be mad at everyone at once? Him and the people that are against him. It's just too much. This is the wrong show for that.
We can't be mad at everything.
Oh no.
Or can we?
Well, I think we could because, God dang, isn't just everything is wrong?
Yeah, I think it is.
Oh, no.
So this is the show where we're best friends.
Yeah, that's the show.
And we, bye.
Take it or leave it.
And we, every week, bring a album that we're jamming on. An album that we're, wait.
Wouldn't you think that's the famous PSL, right?
Yeah.
Pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah.
It's pistachio.
Oh,
That's going to be a problem come fall. Right?
PS is pistachio.
Oh, that's weird. I was like pistachio spice latte. PS is pistachio, and then PS is pumpkin spice. Something for...
Or is it pistachio spice?
This is something for the company to figure out before...
Yeah. Anyway, that took me completely out of it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But I did see PSL and I got a little excited.
That's
That's
the problem with recording with so many things around us, right?
Yeah, like the album sitting here in front of us.
Looks great, by the way.
Thank you.
Oh God.
So we each week one of us brings an album that we like, that we're jamming on, that we've historically been very attached to, or maybe just randomly kind of came upon recently and said that kind of fits.
You can only have so many favorite bands that you have something to say about.
Yeah.
And I think we're starting to try to space out.
I don't want to get through all of my favorite bands.
No, I don't want to find out that you don't like all of my favorite bands at once.
Right.
It's a slow burn where I go, I actually been listening
Salt
to
burn.
this too. Yeah. Sorry. It's a salt burn.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, maybe I actually been listening to this too. So last week, I brought you Petey.
Yeah.
Petey's new album, USA,
Yeah.
which is under the category of New Guy I Found.
Yeah.
And then I went to see him live.
Yes.
And everyone's been waiting to hear how the show was.
I haven't even asked him about it.
This is a good way to do the show, right? There's a little wrap up at the beginning, then we get into the album. If
I
you
think
don't
so.
care and if you're just like, Lincoln,
Skip ahead.
just go ahead.
The timestamps are in the description if you're looking at the podcast, or they're in the description if you're on YouTube.
Right.
You can skip along on the timeline. Just skip ahead. That's fine. But if you want to hear the wrap up, here it comes.
It was fantastic.
Ooh, baby, I love Petey.
Sometimes you go to a show, right? Let me hear it. Sometimes you go to a show, right?
Yeah.
What day was that?
It was a Tuesday.
Because I'm looking at the tour setlist website, setlist.fm.
Oh,
and
baby.
it is not listed here. No one put the set list.
That's sad.
So
That's sick.
So I'm going to pull up the one before it because I believe it's about the same.
Probably the same.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's the same. So fantastic show. What was I saying? Oh yeah. Sometimes you go to a show and you go, that was good. That was a good show. But it was just so fun. And I forgot to show you a video of what he had on stage here.
Whoa.
I didn't forget. You just never asked me about it. And I was like, I guess he doesn't care.
As I was saying before you interrupted me. I didn't ask him about it because I wanted to hear it live on the show for the first time.
This was on the stage for the whole show, and maybe we'll put this up, okay?
Yeah, that's Petey. Of course he's on stage.
Oh. Well, we don't have to post this. Well, here's this thing.
No, come on.
He had a animatronic reindeer
That's funny.
on stage that's moving around the entire show. Just right up, and people were like, this is what gets my goose. People were like, what is that? Why did he is that a joke? And someone's like, I think it's just weird. I think he's being weird. I'm like, yeah,
yes, of course.
What is so hard to it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
There's an animatronic reindeer that's lighting up on stage the whole show, just kind of looking around and moving its mouth.
Yeah.
It's funny.
It's funny.
You don't know anything about the guy.
He made it. The only reason you're here is because you saw a TikTok of him being like, I put catsup on my mustard.
Exactly. Yes. And then another version of him goes, I put mustard on my ketchup. He goes, I put mayonnaise. And they go, what? I put mayonnaise.
Yeah.
And then we're just like, who? He did at one point when they finally said, how's everyone doing? He goes, this is awesome. We love coming to Des Moines. You guys are great. And he goes, I've never heard an audience get as quiet at a show. Then he goes, have you guys tried the tea they have yet? And everyone's like, he's like, they have twisted tea on tap. And he's like, if any part during the show you want to go get some twisted tea on tap, go for it. It's awesome. You're gonna love it. He's just very weird on stage, very uncomfortable, and
in a funny way.
He did give us an idea. He's like being here made me think of a new idea for a video, and he told us about it. And he's like, if you see that on TikTok, you got the behind the scenes story of the video, and it sounded funny. Wow. So we'll see if he puts it up. But he just kind of talked, and what I want to do.
If he does put it up, I'll tell you which one all about it.
But I also then want to know did he do this at every show?
Probably.
Because he's like, being here reminds me of being like a haunted comedy club. And I'm like, does it? Or is that everywhere you play? I'm just curious.
I've been to a lot of shows in Des Moines, and they are always weird.
Yep. So
because Iowa's a strange place.
It's a weird place to, and it wasn't sold out. I think by the time he played, it was packed, so it had to have been sold out. But it was one of the only shows on the tour that wasn't sold out. Yeah, and he's just like, what is it?
No one goes. That? Yeah, anyway,
strange. Opens with "I'll Wait," great. Went to I tried to draw a straight line, so we're right there. Yeah. 3, Home Alone House. All the hits from the album are coming out right away. Yeah. Then he goes into Lean Into Life, which is a big one from his last album. These songs sound great to me live. I don't care for how that last album was mixed. Uh-huh. I don't. So that was great.
I listened to it and I agree.
Yeah. So because when I listened to the audio tree, the song, then after Lean Into Life, he does We Go on Walks, which kind of gave me goosebumps when I saw the audio tree, and then hearing it live, I was like, this is a great song. Album, not so much.
Yeah.
Microwave Dinner, Pitch a Fit. I'm trying to remember if all of these were, but what I wanted to get to, let's see here. Skip this one. He does. This has Oh Nice. I believe here he did Birds of a Feather. And what I wanted to get to, Bags theme. Family of 6, as we talked about on the show, fades out.
Right.
Big discussion between us. Huge discussion.
That's right.
Was when does the song actually end?
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Can you do 2 fade-ins on an album in a row? No, I don't think so. Big no-no.
We said no.
But I said, so when do they stop playing? How long, if they're playing this live, how long do they play? Well, you'll be happy to know we still don't have an answer for that. Family of 6, they start doing the loop. They start kind of, jamming out at the end. Yep. And it slowly turns into the song Everywhere by Fleetwood Mac. And then they do a full Fleetwood Mac cover.
Great.
Cool, but the song Before It Never Ends. And as I was listening to it, I was like, this is great content. I can't wait to tell him they'd never stop the song.
They never do.
Because it just became another one.
Wow.
And with, did I mention I'm Sorry? Then Freedom to Be Effing Off.
Right.
Great. Last song to play where everyone's singing along.
Yep.
Then they did Encore, Don't Tell the Boys, which is from his last album. Another great song people like to sing along to. I just like the new stuff. But cool encore, and I looked sort of to see beforehand. I don't typically like to look at the set list. I like to be surprised. I like to get there and not know what they're doing. But with this one, because I don't know like half of his discography, I was just like, I wonder what what it shakes out to be, and it was about 60-40. Yeah. So
that's good.
Petey, thanks for stopping by. We'll have to buy you a O'Doyle's next time you come through. O'Doyle rules. Just kidding.
I think now, did you so the songs you're kind of singing along, bopping along. Yeah. The songs from the album that you don't necessarily like and you haven't listened to as much, you're just kind of doing the
if you say like Watermelon Ascot, if you kind of mouth, it looks like So I'm like, watermelon. Just and he's staring at him.
At that point, he's talking about the Twisted Tea. So you look like
an insane person. So I'm like, watermelon ascot.
This is one of the weirdest. This gives me an idea for a comedy video.
I'm on stage trying to talk.
Watermelon ascot, watermelon ascot, watermelon ascot, watermelon.
I knew the ones from the audio tree.
Sure.
Because those were on rotation. He's on tour, so he's doing those. So I knew those. There were a couple, and I said, I like these, but I took it in.
Yep.
I danced around. I let the people behind me talk sometimes. It's just like, why are you here? Why are you standing so close to the stage?
It's mind-boggling.
Especially when you're singing along. So like, they know. It's not just like they happen to be there plus they're close to the stage where a fan could be.
Right.
It's like they are kind of a fan.
Yeah.
But then they're just talking at other points and be like, and the guy's like, ha, ha, ha. Yeah.
It's crazy.
What do you have to talk about right now?
What do you do? You came here for this, right?
You paid to come in here, right? And see this show. Did you pay is it just a $30 cover for you to yell to the bartender?
Yeah.
It just blows me away. But mostly it was a great crowd. Everyone was into it.
I love it.
We loved Petey, and we'll be back for more. He's going to be opening for Two Door Cinema Club on their next tour.
Oh.
And I said, do I need to see them? Not really. But would I go see him open for them again and go see the show? Sure. So might be going again.
Nice.
I'll let you know if that shakes out. Until then, leave me alone. So, Petey, we give you a 9 out of 10 for a concert.
Nice.
But because I brought that, right, Petey?
So Joey brought Petey a TikTok
viral sensation that I am against with every fiber of my being. I loathe to like one of these people.
Yeah.
But he snuck through the cracks.
Yeah.
So Landon said, I'm going to push my luck.
Well, so I brought the okay. So yes, all that's true. Petey, his name is Pete, or Petey. I don't know what his name is.
Or Pete.
But his band's name is Petey.
Yeah.
So I said, I know a guy like that.
Yeah.
So I brought Lincoln, Everything Is Wrong. This is a 2023 album. Now, the backstory of my experience with Lincoln is it was just in one of those recommended for you on my music listening app, but not this album.
Wow, which album?
The EP, Constant State of Ohio.
Okay.
I threw that on once, just kind of randomly, a few months ago. And it's great. It's a sort of, I don't know, pop punk, rock stuff.
Would have been nice to hear.
So it's sort of that sound. And then I saw he has a new album, so I said,
yeah,
what's that one? Click on that, and it's this album. And I said, well, this is completely different.
Sounds different.
Yeah, it's completely different.
Huh.
And I said, isn't that interesting? A man that contains multitudes. And then I listened to it a couple times through, and I said, hey, that's pretty good. And then a couple months later, we're here now. And I picked it for this, and here we are.
Yeah, here we are. Lincoln's Everything Is Wrong. A man I or band, whatever you want to call it, that I've never ever heard of, had a hard time even finding this album. Wasn't sure how you found it. Couldn't find any information about him.
Yeah, I was trying to look stuff up so I could bring it to you.
I was trying to see his face.
Yeah. Well, so his story then, I guess, is he is a singer-songwriter guy, has a band, whatever, and he would also post YouTube covers on YouTube. And one of the guys from The Format saw a cover and I guess signed it. He has a record label, or is like part of a record label, and based on his covers, signed him to the record label, gave him a little EP, see what he could do.
The guy that's not Nate Ruiz.
Yeah. Sam Means, I think his name is.
Sure.
I don't know. But so then Lincoln gets his little record deal, puts out a little 5-song EP. Now, that is in, I think, 2017. I think he's like 20 or something at the time. He's a young, maybe even younger. I don't know how old he is now.
Very little information.
I can't find anything about the guy. He looks young. The few videos I've seen, he looks like a young guy. Anyway.
But his voice is low.
Yeah. So he does that. Saint Bernard is a song that's on that EP. Saint Bernard, for some reason, becomes viral on TikTok.
This is what I've heard.
So then he finds out that people are listening to it because of that. And he joins TikTok and is like, hey, guys, I did that song. Check me out. And then he's kind of not really active on TikTok. So so that's basically, he got viral unbeknownst to him. But then the record label was like, this, for some reason, is becoming popular. Let's re-record it and put out like a 7-inch, try to get some money from the virality. So he says, okay, does that. So he has a St. Bernard single. There's like 3 versions of that. And then now this album. And they all sound different.
Well, that's a little bit of my, not even confusion, but I did find out enough information to see, okay, so he did have a TikTok song, St. Bernard, which I listened to. The original version, I said, yeah, that sounds like something that would be on TikTok over a video that I cannot comprehend.
Yeah.
Like someone making a joke, but not really.
I don't know what I was going to look it up, like what the trend was, but
I don't know, because sometimes they're just over stuff. Like someone standing in the street.
Yeah.
And it has like 4 million views while the song kind of plays in the background.
Yeah. But play a song from that quick.
Okay.
That album.
Would have been nice to hear a little earlier. So not St. Bernard.
Well, you can play a little bit of that if you want, just to show the people.
What is that?
Pictures of patron saints up on my wall to remind me that I am a fool.
So it's kind of this.
Tell me
A sort of sea shanty almost.
Which is a huge thing on TikTok.
Yeah.
Every time. Yo.
But now skip ahead a couple songs or.
Smoky eyes, are you feeling good? For now you're here with me. Seems like we've waited long enough for someone else to
Let me
make
hit-
us feel. That's just something people say.
That's Downhill. Banks. I barely played any of Downhill.
That's all right.
Well,
This isn't the album that we're
Yeah.
listening to. But
We're just giving people. But here's the St. Bernard 2.
so this he re-recorded like 4 years after the first version, and you can kind of hear this is what he likes now.
Yeah.
I hung pictures of patron saints.
I'd say I like this version like 500% more than the.
Yeah. Well, because the original one is just like an intro to the EP. It's like a minute and a half of him just singing and clapping.
Yeah.
You know, it's not supposed to be a big deal. Anyway.
I don't understand how TikTok works. We can't get into it right now. Landon's holding his phone like a grandparent on a plane that forgot their glasses.
Neither of us will be missed.
Okay.
Saint Bernard sits at the top of the driveway.
So it's just like people telling a sad story, I guess.
Are all of them like that? Because
No.
I think people just will then use the song because it's like, this is trending.
Yeah. I mean, the original
I'm
one
showing
is
my
like...
face for the algo.
Yeah.
And then the song will play.
But usually it's like a...
Okay.
Why does my room look dirtier than it is?
But it's like 300,000...
Fire.
I don't get it. I don't know. I can't really make heads or tails of
this
any
app
of it. But
is,
so
well, we won't have to worry about it for long because
Nope.
our president's going to take care of it.
So anyway,
They can see that we're talking to each other, that we're looking each other in the eye, and we're coming up with plans, and we don't need the government. What? So that's that, and you like that, and then he came out with a new album, and you said, okay.
yeah. So I listened to this maybe 2 or 3 times, and on a whim last episode I said I'm changing my pick. I was gonna pick something else off of Petey.
Sure.
And then I said, how about this thing that I found 2 months ago and
Well,
have barely listened to?
What I should have asked you is, can we listen to the other thing? What I should have asked you is, when I picked Petey, you said you looked at Petey right in the eyes, and then you said, I think I have an idea for next week. Was that either of these that you?
No.
Okay. Just wondering.
Yeah.
Just wondering. So yes, I listened to this album, and now I don't really have anything to say about it because I didn't know about him. I read one interview with him.
Yeah, he's hard to... I mean, I just found out his last name today because I was searching high and low for any information. But
I read a glowing review for it. And said, okay. I found that today.
yeah.
That's about all I got. I don't know what his deal is. I don't know.
The guy is on acid.
Yeah, a lot of the time. But he will give you some, or you thinks he might. You could have some, right? You could use this more than me. Can't tell how old he is. Can't tell what he looks like. Doesn't look like the picture on the front, right? Kind of doesn't look like that.
No.
Doesn't look like the drawing.
No. I think, I don't know. It would be interesting to see or hear any of his thoughts on any of that. But I think he's a young guy. He's a young artist just trying to figure out what direction he's going.
Yeah, it would seem that way.
Yeah. So let me play one last thing before we
The song you want played at your funeral.
Yeah, it is actually.
The thong song.
Hold on.
It's got a long title.
I'm trying to... I can't even find the goddamn...
Look at this. He's still typing. If you're not watching the video, you don't have to. We'd prefer you subscribe to the podcast elsewhere because we don't make no money on YouTube. We get blocked all the time. Here we go.
When Big Larry came round just to put him down, SpongeBob turned into a clown. 'Cause all girl ever wants to dance with a fool who went and ripped his pants.
Yeah.
Everything seems right, but in fact...
Everything
is Wrong. And then you press play.
Well, Logan. Lincoln Lutz is more known by his covers than his own art, which is unfortunate. That's what it says on Genius.
Whoa.
This website is fascinating. I'm glad they've partnered with us.
It's good that this podcast is brought to you by Genius.
Yeah, so I didn't know he did covers. I did read that he's known more for his covers.
I didn't know that
until
today. So,
well, Everything Is Wrong is Lincoln's debut album and the follow-up from their pop punk / emo rock EP. Lincoln expands his style and brings in unique and interesting features and aspects to the album. The title track, Everything Is Wrong, was released on September 23rd, 2022. And it was the first single released on the album.
damn.
Thank you, Genius.com. We love partnering with you. But as you said when you were trying to get into the song, it just feels like everything's wrong.
I haven't been feeling so
Just
good
gonna lay back
as
and
of
kinda
late.
zone
It's
out.
another
Oh, fall
perfect
asleep.
night to spend wide awake after one
Sorry.
more
Wide
bad
awake.
day in a row. You reap what you sow. It's a bittersweet dream I could taste but not see. You sang it to me, and I
Or-
could hear, feel, and see. Ironic, panic attacks, compression, artifacts, words, buzzwords, synonyms, McMansion, satanic hymns, signs of insignificance, premature enlightenment.
Hey,
I always premature and late.
Champagne, socialism, Oedipus, onanism.
well, we can't listen to the whole song, but you want to get to something.
No, I don't care.
People need to understand something about this show. We cannot play you the whole song.
No.
We are commenting on it. The episodes are too long as it is.
Yeah.
We know you love to spend time with us. Look at us.
But not that much.
No, I get sick of it. Sit in this room. Nothing is on this side of the wall. The camera's at the very edge of the wall. There's
Yeah.
no windows. It's just
Yeah.
a bunker.
And
Get to the bunker.
of course, Phoebe, our
Yes, Phoebe.
social media manager, and then Liza, our editor and producer,
Yeah.
and Megan.
Well, Megan.
He's
Yeah. Well,
just our friend.
we need to talk about that, by the way. It's not enough room for Megan.
So this is the title track and the opening track.
Yep.
I find this to be kind of a nice table setter for what we're gonna get. A little too slow for my friend over here.
Oh yeah, on the way to the Petey show, we listened to some Petey because what show are we doing? My girlfriend says I don't really know much about
About Petey?
about Petey. Where she's like, I listened to some. I was like, it's good.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go with you.
No.
So we listened to the whole album, played that. Then I have about that album's 30 minutes. I've got
It's like 42 minutes. I
Yeah,
think.
so there's still over an hour drive to
Sure.
get to the show. And so played the audio tree version of Petey and I said, what else do I put on? I said, you know what I need to listen to? Lincoln. Started this song, went to the next one. Said, okay. Went to the next one, went to the fourth one.
Uh-huh.
And I paused it and I said, I fear Landon has given me a slow album for next week.
Yeah.
And she agreed. She was like, is that who you're covering next week? And I said, yeah. And she's like, yeah. So I said, well, maybe not for the car ride. I will wait to listen to this. I need something.
It's actually about 7 to 8 minutes shorter than Petey.
Yeah, but it feels longer, and that's
Yeah.
what counts.
Yep.
This song has grown on me. When I first listened to it, I really didn't care for it.
Mm-hmm. And what is it about? Is it the tempo? It is a slower album than
The tempo, and I don't even know what to call this type of music, but I just can't really put it on and listen to it.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, uh-oh, this is the first song. It's got the slow sort of, kind of what we talked about with PD, where it's sort of talking about, you know, how do I say this?
He's going to say it.
How do I say
in a bad
this?
way.
Just someone kind of talking at you about everything's bad, but I'm going to say it in kind of a quirky way.
Mm-hmm.
Just was like, okay, this is not for me. It just seems like maybe for a younger audience like Landon,
Yes.
who likes it,
Thank you.
who is a stud compared to me in the source, in the sense of a horse, right? A stud is kind of the young stud that comes in and kind of
Cheers to that.
pregnates everyone. So I said, yeah, I'm not sure about this. And then it gets to the part here where I said, I don't know about this.
Mm-hmm.
The ironic panic attacks, compression artifacts, buzzwords, I can't do, good on him. He can say it. Words, buzzwords, synonyms, McMansion, satanic hymn,
Yep.
I couldn't, I was like, so what is this? That was my first thought with this song.
Yeah.
What is this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ironic panic attacks. Like, what does that mean? What are you talking about? So help me. You brought this album to me.
Yeah.
The onus is on you.
It's onanism.
Someone earlier today said to me, on the whole,
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I just started laughing.
Yeah.
Right to their face.
It's kind of funny.
You can't say that anymore.
In a post-Powers world.
Post-Powers, you cannot use that phrase without understanding what you're doing.
Yeah.
So,
to me, I am predisposed to like music with melody and harmonies and stuff like that.
yeah.
So I initially liked the sound, and then I listened to the lyrics and I say, okay, does this fall on the annoying side of talking about stuff like this or the good side? And I still, this whole album, I'm still not sure for me.
Which you said kind of going into it like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm listening to it and I've enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But, and so I said, okay, we're going into this a little.
I'm kind of with you where at least a couple weeks ago when I picked it, I'm with you. Because
I think there's some good stuff coming up, and I can see a promise of what's to come, even if this album on the whole is not for me.
Yeah.
Because I don't understand there's a wordplay that is maybe whatever it is that makes it genuinely clever or means, like, I can understand what they're going for.
Yeah.
And not in a way that's just like, you see how I said, like, I don't know, waterfalls, butterflies.
You just didn't hear the song.
Waterfalls, fireflies. I'm like, I see that.
Angry
But just like-
laughs and happy cries.
Yes.
I
get
sort
that.
of juxtaposition of happy and sad.
That's fine with me. Waterfalls, fireflies, angry laughs, and happy. I'm not mad about that. It's kind of on the nose. It's just the ironic panic attacks. I don't understand.
Here's what I've taken this chorus to mean, and then we can get in it. Because
Okay.
I listened to, the first time I listened through, I don't really pay attention to the lyrics.
Yeah.
So, whatever. Then I listened again a couple times before picking it, and I said, oh, I think he's trying at least to do, and we're going to bring it up again, the Bo Burnham thing, where he is the thing he's doing, but he's also making fun of it. It's the I'm depressed, but it's also annoying to say that I'm depressed.
Yeah.
And I think this chorus is the ironic panic attacks is sort of what I think we kind of talked about it with the Petey thing of like it's a thing to say you have for internet clout, for whatever compression artifacts. Don't know what to do with that. Words, buzzwords, synonyms. I think he's pointing to the fact like these are all things that you hear now that are synonyms for being
people
alive
saying,
now.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is. McMansion, satanic hymns, sure. Signs of insignificance, premature enlightenment. I mean, these are just things of like also, of like McMansions and satanic hymns. The world has both.
Yeah, I'm pink champagne, socialism, Oedipus, onanism. Like they're kind of related. It's like sure these things can kind of, but they're not like cleverly.
Yeah, I think
I don't want Lincoln to watch this. I
like the idea. I think it's a little undercooked.
Yeah, radical Christianity. It sounds a little like someone who is 20, which is I'm sure we'll get into stuff I'm gonna bring that's like a punk band that's like fuck this, whatever. Yeah. So
I mean, I think we've already done that. But
sometimes with the music, when it's done in a way that's almost too twee or like ironic, that like saying satanic hymns in this voice, like this, or saying whatever nepotist bestiality, kind of making it like this, like there's some sort of ironic something to it that just kind of puts me off. Yeah. I don't know exactly.
It's interesting
what it is.
I didn't hear it like that. I feel like this is more of like a dream like intro to
the rest of the album,
the thematics, the thematic meanderings.
Okay, I can see that.
He's more just kind of because then at the final track kind of comes back into this sort of boom, that melody. So I think it's more of just kind of an intro. Now the problem is, I like this song, and I actually like the next song, but it's another slow song.
I just don't need a slow intro song to be 3 minutes long.
Yeah, it should.
Like
that second time he goes into the chorus, cut that.
Yeah.
It shouldn't go back into ironic
because it builds up,
attacks.
but it's like maybe just do that the first time.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do that, and then just angry laughs and happy cries kind of fades out.
Yeah.
And I'll allow it here. The music.
The music fades.
Yes, it's not. The music fades, and then you go into the next song. If it's like cut a minute off that bad boy.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I agree.
And I just generally am not listening to this type of music.
Yeah.
Because I just can't.
And see, it reminds me a lot of someone I used to listen a lot to.
Someone that I used to listen to.
A guy/band called Badly Drawn Boy. It reminds me of that. It's kind of, there are certain elements of Bright Eyes. There are certain elements of another guy I listen to that I don't really anymore, Radical Face. Certain singer-songwriter guys that are alone in their room coming up with these little albums and concept albums a lot of the time. And like Badly Drawn Boy, his albums are like 20 tracks long, and every song is 6 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's like this lush, poppy, acoustic stuff. And you're just like, I liked it. It's good. But also now I think too, I feel like I don't have as much time to listen to stuff anymore. So I kind of have stopped listening to that.
It is weird. I'm like, there is some of that where it's like, I feel like I've grown out of it, but that's also not to say that it's beneath me.
Right.
Just I've grown into a different taste, and it's like, I'm not going to listen to Casadega by Bright Eyes again, probably all the way through. I bought it and I listened to it, and I was like, maybe this is what I'm into. Yeah. And I'm like, it's not, and that's okay. Yeah. I like some of his stuff. You know what? Yeah. This is just not what but because you said that the lyrics, to me, the vocals are so pronounced in this. Like when you said you'll listen to it, and some of this, there's some good melodies and stuff where it's like, it's not even what he's saying, it's the melody I like. But when it's so pronounced, I'm like, I want it to mean something to me. Yeah. So I'm like, if you're going to have it be so pronounced and you're saying whatever, onanism, I'm just like, okay, well. Yeah.
I think
what are we doing here? I got a long drive ahead of me to Petey, and
I think he's playing with the sort of the online philosophizing that happens. And by the way, it happened before everyone became an online philosophizer. There's something that happens when you're in your later teens going into college where you think you're smarter than you are. And either that's happened to him and that's what he is currently writing about, or it did happen to him and he's kind of reflecting on that, is what I take away from it. Just like the sort of, there are other things that come up where he's talking about certain philosophies and stuff that seem like either he is
just thought of something for the first time,
or he's either engaging with it really as a young man thinking of the world in different ways, which is good. We should all do that, and I'm glad for artists to explore that stuff. Or he's an older man looking back and kind of, which is also fine.
Yeah, I think some of it is just, it's a little exploring that stuff and going, okay, it's not engaging me in a way that I'm like, he's kind of thinking about something for the first time, and I feel like I'm getting these ideas as he's kind of forming them in a way that I'm like, but do I need to hear about this?
Sure.
I could be doing something else.
Okay, so that
so that's the first song, and we're off to a great start.
I like the song. Joey doesn't.
I like the final time I listened to the album before we got together, kind of putting it on repeat from the album ending to the first song again. It kind of clicked as like, okay, I like, if you like this stuff, I'm not even saying it's a bad song.
Yeah. It's just,
but to me, it's not what I want. So. And his voice grew on me. I like, his voice was kind of not weird, but it was just like, oh, it's very, with this type of music and this type of singing and this sound, all of it was colliding into a big It's a different for JoJo.
I was going to text you today and say
don't listen to it,
and say listen to the EP.
I did listen to the Saint Bernard song when I found out what his thing was.
I know, but
like,
that's,
don't like that.
That's.
Then I listened to the version where they did it anew, and I said, okay, so whatever. Maybe I'll listen to the.
Well, just because it's interesting, I think maybe if you didn't like this, you would at least appreciate the artistry of what he started doing, and then now this, and who knows what he's going to do next,
right?
Because they're pretty different. Like you can hear this in that, but it's also like,
but you can't hear this.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
So maybe his next album is going to be really awesome.
I mean, his next album, like,
and I like this one.
His next one album, or oh Lord, 2?
Lord, won't you grant me something good to complain about? Fill up the spaces in between the constant looming doubt. 'Cause when someone dies before they wake, is there still a soul for you to save? And
Cigarro shirts available now.
Is forever just today.
Like 8 episodes ago. Monday, you're off.
He's got the Bene Gesserit voice.
Yeah. And he's making me do it.
Yeah.
So,
me something good to complain about. Fill up the space.
All right. So that is the second song.
This is the great sin of this album where you can't go from that song to this song.
Well, this is why, as I said, I was getting worried. There's
Yeah.
so much I could be listening to, and you said it's only 30-something minutes, and I said, but oh, Lord, it feels...
Oh, Lord, too.
Oh, Lord, too. It feels too longer. Lord, won't you grant me something good to complain about?
And
Fill up the spaces in between the constant looming down. I
Lincoln,
see, like,
buddy, I like this song. I'm just saying the sequencing. You gotta... The slow intro song... At least go into track 3 when we get to it. That's a little more.
Yeah.
You gotta. We can't do this.
Yeah, because for me, a person filled with constant looming doubt,
Yeah.
I'm about to turn it off. I really am. I don't know, bringing in another singer on the second song, to sing with, and I'm like, well, and this is what I'm like. This just isn't the sound for me.
Yeah.
And I think we're hitting on some of the stuff we talked about, like the philosophy. Oh, now I sound like a freaking idiot.
Yeah.
The philosophizing.
Yeah, nailed it.
We should get shirts that say philosophizing since 2023 or whatever, whenever the show started, right?
We should get one that says Philosophizer, but the Pfizer logo.
Yeah.
And then say, if you got the jab, you're a pab.
If you got the
which
jab,
stands
yeah.
for pussy ass bitch.
That is a front and back shirt you don't want to miss. And then we also just put the Lincoln photo of the album at the bottom.
No. He's
No, we wash of your sins. When someone dies before they wake, is there still a soul for you to save? I'm just like, kind of like, there's a I don't know if it's not a faux but I'm like, what are we trying to say? Because it doesn't make sense to me in a philosophical way.
Well, he's talking to Lord.
Okay, so it's a religious way, a spiritual way. If someone dies before they wake, is there still a soul for you to save? And it's like, yeah. I don't understand what he's trying to say, where I'm just like, it sounds good in a song, but if you think about it for a second, I'm like, so
what's
okay.
what's the little as I lay me down to sleep,
I pray the Lord my soul to keep, and if I die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. Which is always a great thing for me to do as a kid.
Yeah.
Can't sleep already. By the way, if I die, if this is the last, I please take my soul. And I'm just supposed to go to bed. And I wasn't told, like, you probably will wake up. It was just sort of like, hey, you might die, because it's sort of one of these things from the medieval times where it's like, I don't know, you could have dysentery. Yeah. Gary. You know?
Well, don't you think then that's maybe what he's talking about?
If I die before I wake, I pray I know he's referencing the prayer.
Well, I know, but what's your question then?
If I die before I wake.
He's asking the question you're asking right now as an adult.
What's the question I'm asking as an adult?
You're saying, why didn't anyone tell me I wasn't going to die when I was sleeping? And
when someone dies, but this is saying when someone dies before they wake, is there still a soul for you to save? What is he asking?
He's questioning the whole infrastructure. He's questioning the whole thing. And later on he'll say he'll talk about, I tried to pray when I was 6 and ba ba ba. He's a man who's lost his religion and
someone dies before they wake, is there still a soul for you to save? Yeah,
just saying,
I mean, isn't there? Yes. If God's real, yes. If not,
well, exactly. That's the question.
But
he's asking.
Then it's finished. Then it's another one right after this. And if time happens all at once, is forever just today. They seem like these rudimentary sort of.
I like that one.
Like these things that you were asked to talk about in Intro to Philosophy. And it's like, yeah, I guess. Again, it's sort of the like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
What I'd rather talk about is string theory.
Go
string
ahead.
Cheese theory.
Yeah. Okay.
There's just a couple of these where I'm just starting to be a little annoyed.
Sure.
Where I'm like I get the idea of it, but they're not these philosophical questions where I go, oh, that is interesting to me.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not the first time I've thought about this stuff.
It's a young person's first
time happens all at once. Is
foray
forever.
into
Just
thinking.
today, it's like, yeah, I get that, and it sounds nice, but it's also like,
yeah.
I like
that one.
what?
It sounds nice.
Yeah.
Time happens all at once is forever just today. That's good. The verse you can't hear, but he's saying some stuff in there. You can't hear it because they're all. He does a lot of layered vocals, which I like sometimes. I think he maybe goes to that well a little too much on this album. In the verse, oh Lord, let me breathe, give me time away from me.
Crazy.
Let me dig the hole and thank God. I don't know.
I mean, I do feel I'm with you on that, Lincoln.
Yeah,
just give me a break from myself. Yeah. I'm sick of it.
That's what I think. Petey was talking, speaking to that,
and he does go into this later too. Sort of who is Lincoln, right? What is me to others, eh?
Let me dig the hole and thank God I don't know what you know.
Thank God.
Isn't that's kind of interesting? Thank God I don't know what you know. Like if God's real, thank God I don't know all the crap he's seen.
Yeah.
That's kind of something. Here's what I'd like.
Yes, sir.
At the end, there's this, it's always apocalyptic dreams. What does any of it mean? If we spend our lives together, who knows what we might have seen? I am 88 today and you are 83, but I hope you know you're always going to look the same to me. And whatever way things turn out is the way they're supposed to be. I like that he does have these moments of like, through all of these sort of quote unquote the sort of dark, however surface level you may perceive them to be, the sort of dark, depressive thoughts that one has. He still comes around through some of these songs at the end and finds a sort of meaning in a connection with someone.
Soon I'll be 80 years old, my hands will be wrinkled, and you'll be 83, 5 years younger than... So if he's 20, and they're, 5 years younger than him?
Yeah.
Kind of an issue. But I know you're always going to look the same to me, gonna look the same to me. Yeah. The end of the song's fine. It's just slow, baby. And that's what the guy does, and that's
But that's what's funny. He doesn't.
As far as I know, 2 songs in.
I know, that's the trouble.
That's what the guy does.
I did when I picked this. By the way, when I picked this last week, I didn't remember most of the album being like this. I thought it was like 60-40.
And you were like, "Uh-oh, I picked this."
When I listened to it after that, I did kind of go like, oh, shit. I remembered it being, again, I only listened to it a couple times. I remembered more of the, there's 2 songs that are upbeat and 10 that aren't.
Yeah.
And I thought it was the other way around. But I in my head, I was also thinking of that EP, I think. Which is 4 songs that are... Anyway.
Well, that's okay.
I still like it, okay?
Yeah.
I'm not mad that we're talking about it, but...
No.
Baby, take my acid.
Oh.
See, this is a second track 2.
Yeah.
After that intro, fades out into this. Just to give a little... Or
if you're the only thing that's changed, how is it you're all that feels familiar?
Not doing anything, can you still call it trying to get better?
Penelope!
Days it almost feels
You're using the same microphone.
Be myself again.
Would it be your biggest transformation?
Formation.
Would it be the
It's like Stevie spitting all over Bruce Springsteen.
So
Yeah.
I've been trying to write songs you think good. Feels like they always come out wrong.
See, now I feel bad that he said that.
This is about you, asshole.
I've admitted to you something I thought I had regretted. When you said that I looked sad
I thought that you meant it like pathetic.
in every explanation to
All right.
myself.
Oh.
No,
All right.
all right. Go ahead. Take him down.
Yeah,
He just
it's-
admitted he's...
I mean, he got faster. I don't need the song to be fast. I mean, let's go back in our discography here a little bit. I've had the Death Cab. I've had the slow. I've had slower things. It's just a sound to me. The call and response thing is not really doing it for me.
I don't necessarily know why. Again, it's a sequencing thing. Does he... I don't think another song on the album has a lady,
No.
but two right in a row. It's
Two right in a row.
It's weird.
And maybe this specifically, I can't get into it too much. I made that sound worse than it is.
Jesus.
It just reminds me of like a local band song I heard that wasn't good, and they had a slow song
Uh-huh.
that they decided to do with like a female singer doing a call and response thing,
Uh-huh.
and I was just like, it just sounds. I don't know. There's something so again. There's this sort of twee trying to be. Cute. I didn't like what they were doing, and then now it's stuck in my head as that. And I just typically when there's that kind of call and response thing where it's like they're talking to each other, I just
Yeah.
pish.
I don't mind that. I think it's a little strange to do it twice in a row. I think it would probably...
Like she's a little on his shoulder, like, wouldn't it be your biggest transformation? She's kind of popping in there.
I don't...
Then he, of course, he says, trying to write songs you think were good, so I feel bad. And then whatever, when you said that I looked sad, I thought you meant it like pathetic.
Mhm.
I'm fine. I'm fine with the lyrics. I don't know
I
about
think that's cool.
the back and forth of like bringing this little thing in. And
I think it'd be probably better if there wasn't the female vocalist on the track. Not that I'm against female vocalists.
no,
In fact, well, nah,
not yet.
I can't
Whatever
say-
you're talking about, I don't know.
but
It's not her. It's just
no, it's the call
if
and
it was
response. mostly.
another dude. Like I don't care. It's
Right,
just,
right. Well, no, yeah, I mean more so the back and forth. I like when she's in the background just harmonizing. That stuff is cool. I like when a male and female singer are singing together at the same time.
Well, the goose pimples are never ending, isn't
I
that
like
right?
that.
The skin is the largest organ we have, and it is completely goose pimpled.
But yeah, I think this is...
But it just, I don't know. There's some little like folksy band sort of thing to it that I'm just like, I'm not listening to it.
Yeah.
So whatever, sue me. But like you said, I like the tone of it. I like the kind of how they're singing everything, which is why I'm like, if it was just him doing it too, like, like they're kind of on the off beats with the drums sometimes, and that's all fine with me.
Yeah.
I like the lead guitar thing.
It's a catchy guitar part.
Like this is one that could be stuck in your head as like, oh yeah, the album sounds like this.
I think that's what
And
happened
then
to me.
you're like, oh yeah, if there's two songs before that.
Yeah. I like when you said that I look sad.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my-
It's a huge bug. It's not even any.
Holy crap.
It just was right here, so I thought it was like a tarantula.
You're an idiot. It's just a boxy boy.
Oh my God, Lincoln. Lincoln, I'm sorry. You put a pox upon me, a McMansion satanic
Pox.
Or are you gonna say, "Baby, take me acid"?
When you said that I look sad, I thought you meant it like pathetic. I think that's kind of a fun little turn of phrase, and self deprecation sort of whatever. I don't realize that I look depressed.
Yes,
I'm
I'm actually sad, and I just think you're like, yeah, I look like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every explanation to myself of any glimmers of hope starts sounding suspiciously like any other lie I've ever told. I like the lyrics here. I like most of this. Baby, take my acid. I think you need it more than me. I could be gone this time tomorrow. So could you. I guess we'll see. That's interesting.
We should have taken acid for the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, we should have.
Just to know what he's talking about. Eventually, everything ends up where the river meets the sea, but I never wanted to be famous, so at least that's one good thing. Okay.
I kind of like that. That's kind of funny.
It's funny, taking the idea of sort of like, well, I never wanted this, right? It's sort of a net positive to, I never wanted this and I don't have it.
Yeah.
So I guess that's good.
Yep.
I never wanted a good thing to happen to me, and it hasn't, so that's good.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, Lincoln. And do you have anything else to say?
No.
So I said, okay, Lincoln, I can get handsy with you by listening to your next song.
Yes, which is entitled
Do not clip that.
Handsy.
Don't put me on blast.
You hold my hand
Whoa.
Get your lighters out.
like it's for business.
Business.
Because there's pleasure in pain behind your knee. You feel timeless.
The screen turned off.
So get used to the questions.
I'll keep listening to this.
Never cease to ask. I'll slowly realize that
Unprofessional.
things like these are never built to last. So show me a sign, and I'll show you a sad coincidence. And show me something beautiful. I'll show you the risk of losing it.
Basically, I paused it because there's 8 seconds left.
Oh, yeah, it's a shorty, isn't it?
Yeah. You hold my hand like it's for business because there's pleasure in the pain behind you. You feel timeless, and you will ask me, are we cool? And I'll say, yes, my friend, but not as cool as you. Yeah, I mean, this song kind of feels like a transitional song.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. Show me a sign, and I'll show you a sad coincidence. And show me something beautiful. I'll show you the risk of losing it. I like that.
This guy's sad. I feel like we should. This is what I'm like. I don't want you to think I don't like it. He's sad in all these songs.
He doesn't, but he doesn't want you to think that.
Right. Show me a sign, I'll show you a sad coincidence. And show me something beautiful, I'll show you the risk of losing it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Nothing against the song. It just sort of feels like it's not a full song.
Yeah.
And the lyrics are sort of distorted. And listen to me. I said before they're too prominent, now they're too distorted.
Yeah.
You can't win with me.
Nope.
Sometimes I just wake up wanting to, well, I know it's silly, but sometimes I shouldn't even say it.
What?
Sometimes I just want to watch the world burn.
No.
I would dress up like a nurse.
No.
Lick my lips.
Okay, wait a minute.
Blow up a hospital.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much a transitional song. There's a couple of those on here too, which I don't know. I feel like you get one.
I do, but I think is it a length thing? I mean, it is for me.
Of course.
But is it like, there's, what is this, 35, 36 minutes?
Uh-huh.
If you cut it down too much, we're looking at another EP.
Yeah.
That could be fine. I mean, because I feel like the songs that I like on here, I'm like, this could be a strong EP.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I feel like, especially for this TikTok, 10-second tops attention span generation.
Yeah.
Put out a couple EPs. I listen to bands where I'm like, they put out so many EPs. I'm like, do something. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop giving me 4 or 5 songs.
Yeah.
But I'm like, well, you had your first one, and now you've maybe have some sort of budget. It sounds,
Yeah. I think that's
put some work into here, and
kind of what happened.
I feel like it could be a
You wanted to
strong
do an album.
condensation.
I agree, and I think maybe if you try to wrap your mind around this as more of a concept album, it works a little better with these little transitional 1.5 minute songs that are kind of distorted and off in the background. I feel like maybe it works that way a little bit better. Again, there's nothing about him anywhere. He's barely.
That's my thing. Is
so
like
I don't know. If
you can say that, but
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm coming into this completely blind and not able to see anything.
Yeah.
Heard the clap.
Okay. God dang, I almost scared you, huh?
Yeah.
But
We should play new music.
I heard the clap rate gun go off.
What?
I saw dead birds falling out of the sky.
He must have been by a
When my
windmill.
brave new world of
They're giving cancer.
cancer.
You wanna see dead birds, you go to a windmill, killing them by the millions.
remember that guy says to turn the frogs gay?
Yeah.
Finally send this letter. I couldn't help it but to preach. Lived in fear and loathing in
Midwest cities now.
Impossible to reach.
Who's doing this?
But in the magic of my age, it's hard to imagine one outcome is best. They called yours Generation Z. You're just scared to wonder what comes next when all your small gets
Turning it down. I'm turning it down. Genius. So there's the lyric here at the end that we just heard is they called yours Generation Z. So you're just scared to wonder what comes next.
Right. Which is kind of a funny
Yes.
little thing, I think.
Yeah. Well, on Genius,
I wonder what it means.
someone said Z is the last letter of the alphabet. So what comes after it?
Yes.
And someone upvoted that.
Great.
So that's good. This is, I would say, the first song on the album that I liked.
Yeah.
Don't love it, but I was like, okay, I like that first. I like the whatever's going on at the beginning there. He's like, birds falling out of the sky.
Yeah. It's
Whatever
you're a
that is.
sicko.
Yeah. I said, my stomach grumbled when I said that.
You're like, God, that sounds yummy. Yeah, it's kind of cool.
His voice it works for that. When my brave new world of pocket slot machines collapsed on its own lie, then he loses me.
The Clathrate gun hypothesis is a proposed explanation for the periods of rapid warming during the Quaternary.
Yeah.
Through geologic time, the marine methane hydrate reservoir was reloaded and discharged as clathrates accumulated during cold glacial intervals, only to be dissociated when triggered by pulses of warmer intermediate water impinging on the continental slopes. So the theory goes that birds will die.
So that's the Clathrate gun
That's
theory.
Yep.
It's called the Clathrate gun theory.
Yep.
Why is the word gun in there?
Or hypothesis.
What is a gun? It's not a pipe.
Here, let me show you.
He
thought
unzipped his sleeves. Took me to the gun show.
Yeah. So this is just kind of about that, I guess, huh?
Yeah.
No, I like the song too. I like the sound a lot To me, this is a good musically one of my favorite songs on the
Yeah,
album
I think
also.
that's where I'm sitting at.
Yeah.
'Cause I like the sound of this. So what? I mean, it's kind of a global warming song.
I just think it's more of the the sort of the macro of things being bad. A clathrate gun going off and the dod birds falling out of the sky.
Yeah, I remember when he said that.
To the micro, my brave new world of pocket slot machines collapsed on its own lie. This sort of Midwest, lived in fear and loathing in Midwest cities and I'm impossible to reach. The sort of isolated feeling of being in one of these little Midwest Ohio towns.
These
where
fly-by shitholes in the middle of bumfuck nowhere.
the promise of a pocket slot machine bringing capital and tourists into your town, realizing, well, that's not true.
And what does it bring? What if you do
Degeneracy
your life just
and hedonism.
disgusting?
Um,
Smog gets lifted. Okay.
That's nice.
Blank stare at bubbles flying from all cloud pods like ice flows from the Arctic as I listen to new music, desperate for that old catharsis. Sure. It's kind of and it's also that he mentions it here in the magic of my age. It's hard to imagine one outcome at best. Sort of again being a little cheeky, right? In the magic of my age, everything sucks. I can't think of one good thing that's going to come out of this. That's what's, and looking at his, whatever, as my sense of youthful opportunity, I watched it swimming down your drain. Just kind of.
which you saw Saltburn, so
Yeah.
that's interesting.
I
to
saw it
you.
swimming down the drain and I was lapping it up before it could get there.
Yeah.
And it tastes like chamomile and vanilla.
What about this? When all your smog gets lifted, when all
Jizz.
gets said and done, it'll be just like Saint Rob always taught me. You're only a new band once.
Yeah. Is St. Rob a band? I meant to look that up.
Let's look it up.
It's one of these newfangled kid things where I just feel older and older. As I'm looking at the Lollapalooza lineup, and I just can't tell. I can't tell if they're selling me a new frickin' stovetop cleaner or if it's the new hottest band playing.
Yeah.
I'm like, who is this Metallica? Just Googled St. Rob in his phone. Just shut off.
I mean, there's a Saint Robert in the Catholic tradition,
Yeah, I thought about that.
but I don't. Without getting into it,
It's just like St. Rob always taught me. You're only a new band once. Maybe he just has a friend named Rob, and they call him St. Rob. He's wise beyond his years.
I'm not.
Or he
even
died and his body didn't decompose.
I'm not gonna even
A
say.
la Lady Big Bird. Who'd you bring me? Who's that lady?
Oh, Lady Lamb. So yeah, I'm not sure, but I like the idea of you're only a new band once, like him contending with the. He had his he kind of had his moment already, and interestingly he didn't even really know his moment was happening until the record label was like, hey, suddenly people are listening to your song.
But he's also, that's life.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't know that was. And he said later in the album,
Yeah.
when he says, I'm scared last year will be the best year of my life.
Yeah.
You go, Lincoln, you're wise beyond your ears.
And I think he is, because a lot
Wise
of this
beyond his
also is
years.
contending. So I'll have to look into Saint Rob a little more because it might be the Catholic.
I'd love
Saint
for you to
Rob,
do that.
but because a lot of this is from God, to God, Lord God. He's contending with his upbringing, his religious upbringing, I think, and where he's at now. So I imagine he is talking about that. Anyway, got anything else you want to say about that track?
No, it's a good track. I mean, I don't know. We should probably order lunch soon if we're gonna keep going through the album.
Oh, okay. Where are we gonna get lunch from?
Well, I don't know where we're gonna get it from necessarily, but
I'm just saying that restaurant on the corner.
Yeah.
Steaky Linkies.
yeah.
I always get the manager's special.
Oh,
I know $1.50 can keep my hair clean for 3 weeks if it
I knew he'd
really
hate
has
this one.
to. But if it really has
As if
to,
he
he just
didn't-
kind of
what's
bumped up the
point of being
clean.
I'm in bed a lot, but I almost never sleep.
You got to get your TV out of there. No TV in the bedroom.
Just enough to hope you don't love me.
Oh, now I sound like an asshole. Guy's going through something.
I knew I didn't have to read the 2-month-old receipts.
I could go on tour with him.
Piled up
You should.
under the garbage pile.
He'd hate you.
Under
Thought your album was
the
fine.
seats of my car that I was cleaning.
Listen.
'Cause I was on acid and I wanted to clean
Guy's
something
addicted.
You gotta
just
stop.
to prove that I could do it. Or to prove that I was me or something.
Oh, yeah.
Bored of all the hedonism, but not bored enough to stop. So I
Bright eyes.
love
Yep.
everyone so much I cut them off.
Do you think that is This has been. When you hear an artist doing something with their voice, you think they're like, "Oh, this would sound
Cool.
cool if I do this."
Yeah, I love this song.
You love this song.
Yep, and I knew you wouldn't, and I'm okay with that. It does feel like a Bright Eyes song or something I would have really loved when I was a teenager, and I'm okay with that. When I heard it for the first time, I said, if I was a kid, this would feel really important to me.
Do you remember when kids would just do plain old be smoking pot, and now he's just doing these psychos? He's doing the psychedelics.
Now he's doing acid when they used to do pot.
and before that they did
I've done
acid.
none of them.
I don't know what he's talking about. You want to clean?
Because I'm kind of a simple guy. Sometimes when you say something like, I love you just enough to hope you don't love me, I say, that's enough for me. I like that. That's a good lyric. And when you say, I'm bored of all the hedonism, but not bored enough to stop, so I love everyone so much I cut them off, I say, that's a good lyric. And
There's stuff I wanted to know about, like when he says, I know $1.50 can keep my hair clean for 3 weeks if it really has to. And someone annotated this so I could to give a little more insight. It says,
good.
Lincoln, is considering that buying a bottle of really cheap shampoo would still work keeping his hair clean.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting. I actually didn't think of it that way.
we want to thank Genius for sponsoring this episode again, always bringing the heat with their explanations for some of these songs. The singer's doing a bit of self-deprecation, of course. Yeah, it's fine. It like you said, it sounds it just kind of a little bit sounds like a song I've heard before.
Yeah.
And while yes, some of the lyrics are like that, it's a clever lyric, but it's wrapped up in these other things where it's like, yes, he's depressed and wants to clean his car and stuff. Fine. I get it. I get you. I feel you. I am with you. Right?
Yeah.
May thy sword chip and shatter. This has been the longest stretch of hell I've ever seen.
I like when he goes loud like that.
But a little bit of it is that Bright Eyes thing where I'm like,
Yeah.
He's putting on an affectation that we sort of talk about with new pop stars too, where it's like, I'm like, is it a because I don't know. Sometimes it's like I guess it works, or sometimes like yeah, that's how they sing.
Yeah.
And I just can't tell when he does it more sometimes. Where it's like, does it seem like that? It seems like someone that's making a TikTok video, playing a little song with their ukulele, being like, and people are like, yes, I feel this in my soul.
if
He thought I was like a little teen. And at the end, I say, "Yes, I feel like me so."
yeah, that
You're
sounds like
okay.
yeah,
You're a sea shanty guy.
I think if for whatever it's worth, I don't love everything about this album. I think if he didn't have, I still think musically and artistically it's interesting, and I think he's got the goods as far as songwriting and musical artistry. So yeah, if this was his only song, I would say no. You're just a TikTok guy wanting to get ladies
Yeah.
or guys.
Yeah.
But I think it's
Or both.
it's one of those tracks on like Death Cab for Cutie. What's the song that everyone knows?
Dark. Follow you into the dark.
I will follow you into the dark. And everyone's like, "Oh, I like when he sings like that on this one song and no other song." And you say, "You like that, but you don't like it when he does it."
He's not doing the same thing as this.
No, I know. I'm just kidding.
But where
it's
I mean,
that-
if I just heard "I'll Follow You Into the Dark" right now,
Mm-hmm.
like you said, it sounds like a song I probably listened to when I was younger, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
The sign on the heaven says no vacancy, so you just gonna go into the dark,
Exactly.
walking together hand in hand. I hope that's true.
Actually, it might be the same song.
Yeah, I think this is the same thing, but
Follow you into the dark.
but that's why it's sort of it's the kind of acoustic, just
It's the
simple
acoustic song.
acoustic.
A man and his gourtar try to win you over.
No problem there. My only problem is it's just not what I'm listening to.
Right.
So, but I said I like the end of this. I keep on running out of things that I think still get me through the night. I'm worried that last year will be the best year of my life. I want to call you all the time. I just can't.
Mhm.
This is out of the slow songs, probably one of the better ones. Just
Yeah.
I like it. Sometimes when people are like, I was on acid or I was smoking pot or whatever, I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah. I agree. And that second little verse there, I mean, there's not really a chorus or a verse, but that second chunk kind of falls into the territory of the thing that I don't like, of like, my car had a bowling ball in the back that my uncle had, and he gave it to me, and I didn't know what to do with it, so I shoved it in the Chicago River. What it was green because it was St. Patrick's Day.
And St. Patrick actually was just a slave, man. Are we all slaves to the Irish? And then the whole band comes in and like, we're all slaves to the Irish man. He's got potatoes and he put them in my hand. Yo. Because I was on acid and I wanted to clean something just to prove that I could do it, or to prove that it was me or something.
That I was me.
Yes,
or
I was
something.
me or something. Which is just one of those things when you're out of your mind. And
You're not quite sure.
the trees are talking to you, right? The grass is all laughing at you. It's like Sausage Party.
Yeah, or a really funny scene in a movie I saw locally where a taco was dancing because someone smoked weed.
Yeah, it's crazy when you get that freaking high.
You kind of
Oh my
hallucinate.
God. I hope he doesn't play this for his parents.
Oh,
If I
they
ever
would
did
just-
drugs and I would not put it in a song. I don't want them to know.
This song seems to be about the singer's struggle with depression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel he's trying to sing about his problems. I respect that.
Well, and
You're trying to have some sort of catharsis on a situation.
Yeah. And I think that is, in a way, like that song before where he's like, that I want that old catharsis.
Yeah.
This song feels like a throwback to I Will Follow You in the Dark, or those old those old bands.
Yeah.
Those old albums
Yeah.
from bands that early.
We're kind of bringing it back. Lincoln's kind of bringing it back.
Well, I think
Ah.
I think it where you're like, oh, the most emotional song isn't when they're walking out. It's actually when he don't got his guitar.
I got a guitar, and you're like, this song seems to be about the singer's struggle with depression.
Yeah. And, I was thinking, too, because with the Petey episode, and we've talked about with Paramore, we're kind of, you and I both bristle at the sort of performative depression, or the performative, what we perceive to be is everyone, there's kind of a trendy version of mental health disorders and anxiety, panic attacks, etc. And I think Petey was speaking to it.
To me, just my whatever my relationship to it is, it sounds authentic.
For
the
Petey.
Things he's talking about, I was like, these are And I go home after we do the podcast and I worry that we're coming off as like, stop singing about being anxious. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
Which is like not true.
Of course. That's
and maybe it's just my own, like, I don't like to talk, or I don't talk about it. So I'm just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Because it's so open now. It's like, good for you. Everyone can talk about it.
Yeah.
Good for you.
That's I think.
I'm glad your parents get it.
We were in the age where you don't talk about
I had to
stuff.
be anxious uphill both ways.
That's right.
That's so good. Put that on a shirt.
But no, I was thinking.
Throw it in a toilet.
I think Petey sings to it from a place of authenticity. I think this guy speaks to it authentically. I think it is hard because of the sort of TikTokification. It does seem that there is, even in songwriting, or even more in songwriting than just anything, the performance of the depression, the performance of the anxiety is cranked up. And that's all people want to sing about. I don't think that's all this guy's singing about. He does a lot. I don't think that's all Petey was singing about. He does a lot. I don't think that's all any real artist is singing about. But it made me think, you know what? I think, as we just said, we have it all wrong. That we're annoyed by it.
Yeah. And I acknowledge that.
Yeah.
Because it is sort of a curmudgeonly, like,
it is
sort of, but because to me, the idea of I had the worst panic attack of my life, I'm going to capitalize on it, and like, not like I'm going to get out my phone and videotape myself playing a guitar, singing, like, to not just make the song and put it on, but like to videotape myself doing it and performing the sort of sad face and being like, don't y'all feel like, oh my God, this is so right. And like being like, yeah, but I just had to get it out. You're putting in the work to like perform it.
Yeah.
And I also recognize that's just sort of how people communicate now. So it's like, how do I deal with this? Everyone is a little more open about going to therapists and trying to get help for things.
Right.
So I'm going to write a song about it and do it. I see that too.
Yeah.
So, but it's just like sometimes I'm annoyed when it seems performative, like everyone is doing this, so I'm going to sing about how I'm sad too.
Yeah.
And they're not. And so that kind of pisses me off when it's done to sort of get views and they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
But then it's like, we don't know if that's true or not. You can't actually know if like someone's doing that or that's just how they express themselves.
Right.
So we are wrong in some aspects, but I think people, it's not just I'm mad about everyone doing it.
No. There is truth to what we're saying. And I think most people know that.
But if someone were to say, hey, I think I view it this way, I think that's the wrong way to view it, I'd probably agree and say, okay.
Yeah.
But there's an aspect to it that's performative.
Yeah.
And when you're doing it solely to make one video or something, on like just to be like, here's I'm saying I'm sad about something.
Yeah.
And yes, I also have a problem, because they feel like that's how you get out there and write something. That's not good for people that are going through those things.
Yeah.
You know, like to think someone is on their side and it's kind of insidious.
Yeah.
And you're a dirty scumbag.
But then it's like, well, what if someone makes a song completely for personal selfish gain? that speaks to someone actually suffering in a way that makes them feel better.
There's no difference.
Yeah.
You know,
That's what I mean.
because if someone takes it to be genuine, it's the same as me listening to an artist I like singing about the issue they're having that's on an album, and it feels personal to them, but I can take something out of it.
Like eating a bean burrito and pooping
Yes, you heard that one.
blast off at Cape Canaveral.
And I go, I know what you're talking about. I get that.
Yeah.
Blasting off at Cape Canaveral. Cape Canaveral is my turlet.
Yeah.
And I also, that is a source of angst in me, right?
Right.
Shitting, pooping so hard you blast off your toilet as if a rocket ship was born onto you, right?
But anyway.
But it is the same as they're singing about it in a way that I recognize as genuine. And some of that maybe is coming from, well, they're older than that generation doing that. Of course, they're singing about something from their heart. These teens are disgusting people. These people singing to teens and being like, I'm actually emo and sad. It's like, shut up.
Yeah.
So, and I don't like emo nights. I don't like, you got a playlist of the same 8 songs everyone else.
Yeah.
You got a Fall Out Boy song on there. Great.
Yeah. Great.
What do you want me to do? Dance?
Dance.
And I paid a cover to come listen to your
Cover.
No, I'm done with it. So now that that's out of the way, yes, I think, but sometimes when it's like, it just comes off as a little heavy-handed. But I don't know, because it's like, maybe it's just the style of music.
Yeah.
To me, this still sounds different than the Death Cab for Cutie sort of sound. But again, that's not a sound I'm like following in other artists too.
Right. So I need to grab my shotgun. Hold on, my popcorn's about ready.
Yeah, can you get that? You gotta clean that thing. Oh! Guy's cleaning his car and writing music on a little LSD.
It's good, but I promise it's not fun. Everything hurts underneath your gun. You got it all, and I got some. Oh well, I guess they shouldn't have told me to just be myself. It was good just for now, but it sucks at the end. I have to keep telling myself I still like to pretend.
I'm listening to the whole thing.
You're listening to the whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
You wanna wreck? You got one. Pull the wheels towards you from the shotgun.
This was the first song that I liked.
You already said that.
Right, but I was like, okay, but this was like getting into I think this last chunk is all what I want the album to be.
Gotcha.
Like from here on, maybe minus some of there's a couple short little things. Like this is a short one, the next one's short.
Yeah.
But from then on, I'm like, okay, this is more. And I think that like the end of that's clever.
Yeah.
Naming it Shotgun, it's not what you think.
No, it's actually...
And that's one of those, if you want to wreck, then you've got one, pull the wheel towards you from Shotgun.
Yeah.
Like if that was on, Keith Buckley wrote that on Every Time I Die record, I go like,
Yeah.
as I'm getting decimated by someone, just destroying my face in the pit. I don't know how I ended up there. I'm trying to crawl myself out. Oh, my glasses!
My grasses.
Oh, my acids. So this is it kind of has a little Geese feel to it as well.
Yeah.
He's got the distortion. I like all the production that he's doing is very well thought out.
Yeah.
He has an ear for these just strange way to do something. That's what I like about music from younger artists too. I feel like there's more blurring the lines between genres that maybe I hear sometimes in like older music, older being like 80s, or just more. Yeah. There's a time of experimentation more into just set genres or subgenres. And now it's sort of like, what is this? Like Geese, where it's like, okay, they're very intense at some point, and it's like it's rock, I guess, but what can you say other than that? He's kind of pulling in these different things, and so I like that he's got that going on. Yeah. And I like his voice on this one. I like that. I don't know. I like the melody of this. If you can call it that, I don't know.
You can.
Okay.
Yeah, I like. This is a standout track for me as well. I think it kind of feels geesey, a little jellyfishy, a little Reliant K in a way. When they do a darker little sounding song, you're like, God dang, this really is one of the best bands ever.
I know.
Someday we'll talk about
get
them.
there, and but every time there's a dark song, I'm like, just do the whole thing that way. But I like that's the cleverness of that end lyric. Yeah. I see a guy that like knows what he wants to do and is getting there, and even things earlier on in the album, I'm like, there's something there, and to other people, they're obviously liking it. Yeah, and I've read good reviews, and I was like, okay, good. Do you really like that? Yeah, I'm just like, it seems like something where I'd go 3 to 4. I'll listen to his next album and see what's going on. Yeah.
That's the other thing too. Like with Petey, is like the first couple albums of my favorite bands I never listened to. You need a couple sometimes to get,
because you don't have the whatever it is, you don't know how to do what you want to do. Right. And then we run into the problem later where you know what you like to do too much,
and that's all you do.
Yeah. You can't win with these people.
So I like
us. Yep. So I like this. I like the sound of this stuff, and I like that it's shorter because it is slower too, and it sort of feels like one of those, I don't know, some sort of transitional song. Yeah. But I'm like, it works. He gets to the point. He gets to what he wanted to say at the end. There doesn't need to be a chorus or something.
Yeah. And it's a little darker, heavier sound.
Yeah.
Which you like.
Which I always like. Yeah, and you can perform for me and I'll like this one thing. Or you can do what everyone else likes. You can perform for, I don't know, 10,000 normal people.
Something wrong with your cable?
I unplugged it. That's the problem. It's still playing.
Oh. This sounds like something Insidious would do to me.
I'm going to play the whole thing.
Sure.
This is sort of like you see the side of like the inside of a house, like a wall, and it starts to slowly dolly in, and the lights are flickering, and this song plays, and you get to the living room, and there's someone just sitting in front of the TV, and then the static turns on or off depending on what you want. And then you see like the neon picture sign kind of lights up. Yep. It says coming soon. I don't know, something stupid like
Fat Bottom Girls.
Right. Or like Big Fat Liar 2.
That's funny.
Or one of these, they're doing like the Steamboat Willie.
Oh, yeah. It'd
Winnie
be like
the Pooh.
Steamboat Won't He?
Yeah. I hope he does.
Yeah.
Danish Steamboat. That's one of those things. Someone like, hey, I gave her the old Danish Steamboat. This is nothing to me.
It's also a little transition song.
Right. That's why I'm like, you just did one.
Yeah. There's a couple of these where it's like, all right, either take them off, or what I do appreciate, though, is that they are their own tracks. Yes. I don't have to listen to this to get to a song I'd rather listen to.
Right.
Where I would have to sit through this whole thing. I can skip it. I appreciate that. But it is weird. Again, the sequencing is all off. That's why I have to think there's some concept to this album that I haven't fully seen the picture of yet. But just the fact that the first song, like the end of the album, kind of leads back into the first song. That's kind of a telltale sign of a concept. Thematically, I think there's a lot of through lines, but there should be on any album.
Yeah.
And this doesn't really flow from the last song to the next song.
No, that's why I feel like
It's just
I'm always
kinda
confused.
weird.
I'm like, how far am I in the album?
Yeah.
And just maybe take some, like, I don't really, you feel like everybody hates you every day, so you need 10,000 normal people to love you deeply in every way.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe commenting on some sort of internet celebrity.
I think so, yeah.
But you feel like everybody hates you, so you need a lot of normal people to love you deeply in every way. You feel like everybody, but I don't know what it's saying. Like,
Yeah.
everybody hates you, but you need 10,000 normal people to. So what does that mean? What's normal people? Is
Well,
that tongue in cheek?
I think so.
10,000 normal people to love you, like, just they're out of their mind.
See, this is the other thing that's going on, and we're part of the problem.
Yeah.
That
No one knows when you're joking anymore.
everyone's become so ironically detached that I don't know when it's sentimental. I don't know when it's sincere.
Mm-hmm.
I think this guy's pretty sincere. But then I played that little cover of the SpongeBob song before because I think he's also in on the joke. Like this, he's like, my voice sounds like this.
I can't do that. I can't do the covers with people. The funny cover that's done serious.
But that's like that was on his TikTok page.
Yeah.
Which is only
I lost all respect for him that day.
which is only
You're gonna get clicks.
but he didn't get that many. That's the thing.
That's embarrassing. Go back and like it.
I'll like it.
Post
for
a
you.
link to this episode too.
But I think it like everyone wants it both ways nowadays. We started it.
Yeah, and now we're stuck in this kind of hellhole of
Where now I'm screaming, I want something more sincere.
Yeah.
And everyone's laughing at me because they think I'm kidding.
It's the Twilight Zone episode where no matter what you say on that stage, you're getting laughs. It's the
that
comedians.
one where Kumail is funny for the first time in his life. I'm kidding.
I'm kidding. And actually, that's not the case because it's not, you can't do funny
It's not
stand-up.
funny in the show. Okay. Anyway.
So you need 10,000 normal people to love you deeply in every way. So I get, yeah. So it's like,
I think it's that. It's the online culture. And you know what a lot of people online say nowadays? If they're telling the truth, this is how you know if it's sincere or not. They say, on God.
yeah.
But I'm looking for something from God.
On God or no cap. Oh, shit. I feel like this.
I'm looking for something from God.
I need to hand in my earbuds badge. Oh my God. That is so.
The first day I met you, you threw yourself away. But I'd never offer to be anybody's mate. And if nothing ever seems to go your way, you must have not had much good to say in the first place.
Beatles did it. This is the Beatles. Or no, it's just Crocodile Rock
Oh, yeah.
by the Beatles.
Oh.
Huh?
It's painful to the point of thinking you're to blame for everything I ever did to you that day. There's never not enough left to say. Time in the day.
God.
Oh, wait.
I can sleep forever. Don't say you love me one more time. It's losing meaning, so there's your sign. If I were you and you were me, what would it mean?
If you were me, then I'd be you, and I'd use your body to get to the top of the mountain. You can't stop me no matter who you are. Ha 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 ha!
What is that? That's awesome.
Yeah, just a little something I came up with for when nature calls.
Oh, the bean burrito's coming back up. Blast off Cape Canaveral.
That's okay, Pineapple.
The sound of this song, God, I want more of this.
I think, you know how I said the other one was where it gets good, and then 10,000 Days was in there, or whatever it's called, 10,000 Normal Peoples.
Yeah.
Again, the sequencing is weird, but this is kind of where I start to like it. Because then, yeah, it picks up and it kind of gets lush. The greenery grows.
Yeah. I love when it so finally I can sleep forever. That kind of build up in the little kind of, it's not a key change, but a little, that whatever those chords are that ascend and then kind of go back down to the don't say you love me one more time. It's cool.
Yeah.
This is a good song. I like this song a lot.
Don't say you love me one more time. It's losing meaning, so there's your sign.
Yeah.
Cool. If I were you and you were me, I'd use your body to get to the top. If I were you and you were me, what would it mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
We're here just looking for a sign. Ba-ba-ba-ba-bam.
You love me all the time, but it gets faster and harder, and I'm losing my mind. But finally, you can sleep forever in 14 billion years just to put it together. Is it something I was hiding from myself? So this is a song from God
Yep.
to a person, to Lincoln.
I will say I just was recently reading a science article where I believe they stated that the universe is 27.5 billion years old.
Oh.
If I can recall that from memory.
He's looking at, we're getting a quick fact check so we don't.
See, this says 13.7, but I'm
so
also
you're
getting
wrong.
26.7.
Oh, so you're wrong.
Which is from 2023.
The Big Bang occurred roughly 14 billion years ago.
But I'm getting new data that I've been reading.
What's in
our universe is actually 27 billion years old, almost double the current estimate.
Wow.
So
they have to, Bare Naked Ladies have to go back and change.
He's gonna have to do this too.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when a band says like, last year I fell on a quarter, it went up my ass and I started getting shorter. Then like they do it, it's like, 10 years ago I fell on a quarter, it went up my ass and I'm getting shorter. It changed the whole song. And plus inflation, so it's like, what's a quarter now?
Yeah.
So like 10 years ago, I fell on $1.50 and it went up my ass, and man, it feels nifty.
Becomes a Pogues Irish.
It's like Idols or whatever.
Dong, ding, dong, ding.
The Queen is mean. You gotta look this up.
Check this out someday when you're older.
The Pogues. Landon hates that stuff though, right? Sea shanty BS.
Yeah.
Crazy. I never thought of it that way, but now I hear it whenever I listen to a song. And I just think, no, I like it.
I don't mind the Pogues.
Not them.
Oh. Okay.
The Pogues, he's kind of like, oh, sitting there.
Yeah.
And we're like, Billy, rest in peace, my brother.
Yeah. They're just all kind of Irish jig.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, I say,
Doom doom ba doom doom ba doom doom ba doom ba doom ba doom doom ba.
yeah, that's why I don't like those from Green Day. Okay, so anyway. The first day I met you, you threw yourself away, but I'd never be offended to be anybody's maid. If nothing ever seems to go your way, you must have not had much good to say in the first place. That's interesting. Now imagine God saying that to you.
That's just one of these crazy things to think about.
Sure.
He's looking for more lyrics. Oh, maybe there's something here I missed.
No, there's a lot of lyrics in here I like, okay?
I'm looking for something. You're just here looking for a sign. What I think that you would ever want to have been mine. Why'd I think that you would have ever wanted to be mine?
I do like Don't Say You Love Me One More Time. It's losing meaning. So
Yeah.
there's your sign.
Yeah, we touched on that.
Did we?
Yeah.
What's
I
that
said
mean to
That's
you?
my favorite lyric on the... I think it's just the to me, it's those the people that say it so much that it loses their meaning. But he's saying in that, there's your sign that it's not true.
Yeah.
Using these words until they mean nothing.
Yeah.
When you should say it when it means something. And only then. It's like how Todd Glass says George Carlin when he really means what he's saying. Because he says, I swear to God, when he's joking. It's like that, where you have to say George Carlin. And I know he doesn't do that anymore. And people don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. You've lost even me, my friend.
It's on God.
Yeah.
It's no cap.
There we go. That will bring in our young audience.
There you go.
No, I like the song. It's one of my favorites on the album.
Yeah, I think because going into it, you just realize it's about life, the universe, and everything.
Fly me to the moon.
I've heard this song.
This is the Poke song.
Play among your stars. Let me see your face.
That's a reference to the song Fly Me to the Moon, but a twist on the original lyrics.
God, shut up.
Never wanted
It's the genius talking.
Oh, 1 up vote.
Think I'd have never wanted anything to do with
I can't get a grasp on the tempo of this album.
Well, there's a lot of tempo changes.
Or whom he is.
I'm sorry
He can't either.
that I caused all this. Felt like all they'd let me say. Soon I'll have just turned 22. But the whole year felt like one long day. Would I still be angry if I'd never misbehaved? Your questions all I'll ever really have to say.
That's, to me, that's great.
Here is you at my age and me at 42. Before you even knew my world, its meaning somehow laid in you. No longer funny how time goes. Things seem to happen all at once, but the river appears to stop its flow if you stare at it for months. So
I'm not looking for anything particular. We're just
Oh.
it's a bit of a longer song.
It is. And I think this is kind of the sort of final, I mean, it's not the last song, but to me, this feels like kind of the final statement of reflection on the album.
Yeah, I mean, there's also references.
It ties up a
feel-
lot of the,
Back to the what
Yeah.
if time was one dinger,
yep,
right?
yep.
So he's like, I'm 40 dinger.
Yeah. If time was,
Here's you at my age and me at 42. My head is gonna fall off just thinking about this. Before you even knew my world, its meaning somehow laid in you. Maybe this guy's just too heady for me. It's all the acid. Where I'm like, I'm peering into a window, right? And he's in the house, and
Yeah.
the window's kind of frosted. I'm just never gonna get the inside of the house from this frosted window.
yeah.
Frosted with LSD.
What I like is, I mean, I like a lot of lyrics in this song. Particularly, I said,
What did you say?
Soon I'll have just turned 22, but the whole year felt like one long day. Callback.
Yep, called it.
Would I still be angry if I'd never misbehaved?
Mm-hmm.
A sort of if I had followed the path that maybe God or parents or whoever would have wanted for me, I wouldn't feel the anger and the bad stuff I feel right now.
Yes.
Interesting. And our questions, all I'll ever really have to say.
Asked as a question.
Yeah. And that goes back to almost all of his lyrics have been like those philosophical, however deep you might
That's
think
why
they
I
are.
start to get like, I see
But I
what
like
he's
that.
trying to do.
Yeah.
And I like it
That's
here.
why I say it's more of a concept album.
But I feel like they're more, I don't know if it's just more fleshed out to me, but I'm sort of like, these feel like tighter. But like you said, maybe you need the rest of the album to kind of get some of these
Maybe.
references, maybe. But it starts to gel more for me
Yeah.
here.
To me, when this song comes on, I like the rest of the album more. Where it feels like...
See, maybe that's what, like when I said I restarted it after the
Yeah.
last one, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it makes it feel more of like more of a whole work than just a couple of songs I like and some that I don't.
What the hell are you doing?
Oh my god. Genius.
I thought we paid for Genius Pro Plus.
We don't. But maybe they'll sponsor us. Genius, would you like to?
Hey, this is brought to you by Genius Max.
Um,
That sounds good coming out of me mouth. I like later on where he says, well, he talks about the river, or no longer funny how time goes.
The river.
Things to happen all at once.
One of my favorite albums I did.
A double album. I'm playing it all tonight, plus 3 other albums. The river appears to stop its flow if you stare at it for months. So I stared.
Yeah.
Then little human monkey boy lost voice screaming at phone. Figured he'd do the song tonight just as soon as he got home. Now I'm just like, I'm like, okay, he's kind of playing with us, right? We have the funny bone and he's tickling it. You know what I mean?
We have the monkey bone.
Yeah.
And he's Brendan Fraser.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm Mango.
What better place to start from than alone? Let's tell the neighbors everything they need to know. That's kind of, to me, that's him in his little room in his little apartment singing deep songs. And then I thought my dad's teeth were disgusting, but God, now look at me.
And then I go, oh.
He knows he's ugly. And he's telling his neighbors that he also thought his dad was ugly.
That's where I'm like, oh, it was a little personal. A little personal in the song here.
That's the point, isn't it?
But I know nothing of this man.
If you shun the non-believer, eventually he'll see everyone I've ever met is me.
Sure. If you shun the non-believer, eventually he'll see everyone I've ever met is me. Yeah, there's definitely something in there. Again, I mean, he's inside the walnut. I'm outside the shell and trying to crack the thing. Good times that I cannot remember, bad times I cannot forget. Yep. So when somebody claims to know me, it's hard not to ask them if they'll bet, because there's something I've never even met that sits around and calls itself Lincoln. I don't like that it ends with his name doesn't rhyme with anything. Everything rhymes up to that sits around and calls itself Lincoln.
There had to be something that could rhyme with Lincoln.
Right.
Because there's something I have never even met. Lincoln.
Claims to know me. It's hard.
I'm not going to try to write the song right now.
I'm not going to do it for you.
No, we can't. But
what are you going to do? You're not paying us.
I like that. So when somebody claims to know me, it's hard not to ask them if they'll bet.
Right.
I like that. That's kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the idea of there's something I never met that sits around and calls itself Lincoln. It's a sort of, it gets to what the album I think is about. It's him on the cover, well, someone on the cover that doesn't really look like him,
Right.
but the whole thing seems to be an introspection of the idea of a 19 or a teenage to 20 something kid growing up right now.
Yeah. And saying, you think you know me? I've never even met myself.
Yeah. And in particular, this song where he's like flashing forward to an older version of himself, being like, everything I am was already in you.
Mm.
That's kind of an interesting, like,
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
And it's kind of nice.
What was
in a way?
Why did I read this today? I read a quote from Interstellar. It was like about the parents. The parents are the ghosts of the children's future. And I kind of thought about, and that's, then they go into a black hole. But I was kind of thinking about that. He brings up his dad.
Yeah.
And I sort of thought he is talking about himself, but it's that idea of even your parents. Here's you at my age, almost reversing the roles of your parents.
Yeah.
Before you even knew my world, it's meaning somehow laid in you.
Yeah.
Sort of if you were to have a kid and they're looking back and swapping, it's you or your parent. There's, it's. I looked at it both ways, and I thought that's very heady of you, Lincoln.
Yeah.
That's a W.
Well, and then, because before it was kind of funny how time is.
Not anymore.
No longer funny how time goes.
Mm-mm.
When you're old, you start to just, and then he just stares.
Slow down.
Anyway, I really like the song.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden the album's about to be over.
Yeah.
Everything.
When you were here, we would hardly stop to say goodnight. But I found myself jealous of goodbye. There's no what is everything? But like anything, the tide rolls in to pull you out, eroding me worse than my blackened eyes and mouth. I would keep you near, exchange all money for some time, then blame the lessons I've been taking. When I fight, but I still fight. I'm in
I think this could have come earlier.
Yeah, that's what I think. The last three songs are sort of what I like, and so I've sat through a long number of songs up to this point, trying to get to something that I like, but it's been too little, too late. And I'm sorry, but I gotta give you a D+. No, not yet.
Not
Don't
yet.
listen to that.
That's not a true ranking.
No.
Because I don't even think this necessarily fits any of the themes, really.
No, and if it's sort of the last song,
Yeah,
kind of sounds like
a last song.
a last song or the penultimate of
Yes.
leading into the final song.
Yeah.
Then this one comes in and there's like a little
It's
the
like a
little instrumental, breakdown, the jam band
It's
part,
kind of like a jazzy,
which
sort
is
of
cool.
I like this song.
But it's
a
like,
lot.
so what? But what is it doing here?
I think
What
you
are
got
you
to
doing here?
you got to put this earlier. You got to resequence this a little bit, and because it is a kind of a faster up tempo song.
I'm thinking like maybe you end side one with it or
Yeah.
something. And I know we don't care about that anymore, right? There's no side one, side two. It's just somewhere in the middle,
yeah,
leading into kind of this end that it feels like he's wrapping up a lot of things. To me.
I agree. And it's just kind of a love song.
Yep. Which is crazy because he's been sad the whole time.
Which I think would have worked maybe thematically better being earlier, where that's part of the sort of thing he's contending with, the sort of amalgam of a life. Also, I'm in love. What is everything? But there's also this sort of transcendental ideation that permeates this whole album, where now looking back, after life, the universe, and everything, now he's in love with everything. This isn't about a person, it's about life. Suddenly, I have contended with the summation of where I'm at. Maybe it ain't so bad. I'm in love. What is everything? I'm in love.
Isn't that interesting?
So maybe he's got it right and I'm stupid. But tempo-wise, you gotta do something different.
No, we're right. The guys that didn't write the album or
we have it right. We'll do an interview or something, man.
We'll do it.
I need a little bit more from you out there.
We'll chill, man. We're cool, guys. We got these. I got a PSLs we talked about that has been sitting here for God knows how long.
But see, that's I think another reason why I trust him as a true, authentic sort of artist.
Yeah.
He's not like Petey going on every podcast you can think of, every goddamn article you can write.
Kind of writing his own story for us to just fill in with a lot.
And I'm kidding. I like Petey a lot. But I think a lot of sort of the viral TikTok artists would
they're
lap
they're
up
so
the sort of...
They're insatiable. What? What'd you say? You said they're insatiable?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to take a shower.
Shoot. But anyway, I like him.
That's cool. We like that. Oh, Lord.
What? What happened? Oh, I left the window open. Hey, turn that up.
You asked for it.
Only for a moment was I free from all desire. There was no one left to save me but myself, and I was hiding.
Hey.
When I came down from heaven, I could hardly feel the fire. I found the perfect spot to stand, but I had to walk for miles. God isn't dead. So get Buckminster manifesting that.
I like that. I like the music going on. I like that stuff, man.
Makes a triangle sacred and profane. Nothing is the only fact in the title of the game. At 6 I tried to pray. Memories hazy, but what I was talking to feels real now, and I feel imaginary. God isn't dead, but it hasn't been born yet.
Huh. Well. So he can't sing. There's not, so sort of.
He's
like
a good singer.
The earlier song is like, yeah. And I go, oh, that's how you actually sing? But he's like, God is not dead.
He does what the song calls for. Like,
And that's a true artist, like you said last time. This is easily my favorite song on the album.
Wow.
The whole album sounded like this. I'd be loving Lincoln, but I'm more of a Jefferson guy. Isn't that funny?
little bit more like me.
A little bit more like me.
Actually better than Lincoln. Pretty much better than Lincoln.
Anyway,
That's not this show.
No.
Anyway.
God isn't dead. God isn't dead. So keep question mark according to old genius here. Keep question mark manifesting that. Of course, he says Buckminster.
Yes.
It's not impossible to hear.
Nope. He says it pretty clearly.
But
I
who
would
is he
say.
talking about, Landon?
Now this I looked up.
Old Buckminster Fern Gully himself.
I looked it up and I amped not sure entirely because there's a man by the name of Buckminster Fuller who
Fuller from Home Alone.
that's right. Who was an inventor, poet,
Yes.
philosopher.
Loved Pepsi.
He loved Pepsi, drank too much, pee pants, pee in bed. But he created the geodesic dome,
Oh my God! I love any type of dome. And if you're talking geodesic,
which of course is a
like 6
dome.
on 1.
Well, it's a triangle,
Okay.
which he mentions in the song a secret triangle. Ba, ba, ba. So I think it's got to be this guy. But
Is a geodesic dome what they wanted us all to be living in?
yes.
Okay.
So he was on the sort of forefront of the futurist sort of thing where give up your religions, combine the scientific technology with humanity for the love of God, so we can all make a better life for us in the future. He believed the industrial and scientific technology have redeeming humanitarian roles. They are not a blight. This was a time when people were scared of it. He created the geodesic dome, which is a series of triangles creating a dome. It's the only building apparently that you can build entirely and set anywhere, and it's structurally sound. So that's something. He believed it was imperative that humans redefine their relationship to the physical universe. Science and humanity together offer a kind of secular salvation. He also came up with the idea of spaceship Earth, that we all are on a spaceship and need to work together to make the spaceship go.
Yes, as well as we can until the space cube comes and takes us.
Hail Anjou.
Yes, hail Anjou.
And a famous quote he has, "You never change things by fighting the existing reality.
Oh.
To change something, build a new model that makes the existing model obsolete." I think this is where our little friend Lincoln is kind of the God isn't dead, but it hasn't been born yet. The sort of idea that what we have now is not sufficient. We have an issue now. We must create the salvation by our own humanity.
Jeez, I mean,
I'm,
you really did some research. I just looked it up and I was like, Nietzsche said that. And I was like, Nietzsche. And I was like, well, who's Buckminster?
yeah.
And I was like, he didn't say that. Nietzsche said that.
Now all
Nietzsche.
all I'll say about that, it seems like a fascinating guy. If there's one thing Lincoln did for me, it's that I now have a guy that I'm gonna probably obsessively research for the coming weeks.
Well,
He also made invented a bunch of different types of cars and stuff that we probably should be using, but it's not a capitalist enterprise to be helping everyone. So he's one of those guys,
right.
where he probably would have made the world better, but no.
Yeah, I listened to a podcast a while ago that I should probably re-listen to. It's called Geodesic Domes, The Wave of the Future That Wasn't.
Wow.
Talking about Buckminster Fuller's Geodesic Dome.
Well, there you go.
I'm going to re-download that. Probably need to listen to that again.
Yeah, it sounds
Came
like
out in 2018, so it's been a while. But I remember.
you just listened to it?
Somewhere in
6 years ago.
in the dust of my cranium.
Yeah.
I guess it seems further. That was before the pandemic.
Seems more recent to you.
I'm
But it was
gonna
actually
re-download
6
it.
years ago.
But yeah, I guess it's an interesting, like you said, keep manifesting it, meaning God's not dead, but it's like try to make it that way,
yeah.
you know?
Well,
But then he's also
Yeah.
saying, but he hasn't been born yet. So it's almost like God's not dead, but we need to come up with a better model for it.
yeah, I think in a way.
So that the version we have or this idea we have can become obsolete as we come, which again is like, you could say that's also a younger person, you know, it's these thoughts we have of like, we just
Yeah.
need a better version. Because like that guy who had this idea, or anyone that has these ideas, like, why don't we just need to be anarchists? Things would be better if we were all this way, or if everyone was atheist or Christian.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, these are great ideas. It's probably not attainable.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, philosophically, it's an interesting concept of what would replace that. You know?
Yeah. My phone just died.
Oh my God.
And I think there was more lyrics I wanted to look at anyway. But
I mean, I got them right here.
oh,
Glory on the set. Glory on the set, because the part of me that wants to die is only yearning to transcend.
oh yeah, that was the part.
That's a good, yeah. That's why nothing makes me happy. It made me part of me again.
That's good.
That's just too heady for me, brother.
Nothing makes me happy. Well, nothing, if I may.
Yeah.
Secret makes a triangle with sacred and profane. Nothing is the only fact and title of the game. Nothing.
That's why
Makes me
nothing makes
happy.
me happy. It made me part of me again.
And then this little coda at the end, which kind of goes back into everything is wrong. That's just good. Every little escape. Go ahead. You can read it for
Oh,
the
thank
people.
you. Every little escape you can take lead you all to another cage. I don't know if that's exactly how he says it. Is it?
I don't-
I think it's lead you all to another cage. The shape and the color might change. Well, and you can see how they spelled color. So
Yeah.
we've got some Canuck up there trying to tell us how to. The shape and the color might change, but it's always the same. And it sort of leads. It's like tying up the album, but it's also saying, "Oh, by the way,
Everything is wrong.
yeah." And you're getting out of this and kind of leaving that space, and it's taking you into another cage. And don't be tricked into thinking you've found freedom yet.
Yeah.
You're in another form of imprisonment, and you go, okay, thanks, and then the song ends.
Well, time is a flat circle.
time is a flat circle.
Is forever, but or is it just today?
It's time forever, but is it just today?
Is one young man's full is one man's full journey of understanding his life and his place in the world and his understanding of the world, is that happening in 35 minutes of an album, or does it just keep happening over and over again?
Or does it lead you to a new dead end of, oh, I didn't think about this. Did you hear about this? And Kevin's like, you're crazy, Lincoln, right?
Yeah.
Lincoln should be hosting a. So yes, this is my favorite song on the album. It kind of gets
Yeah,
this,
it's
and the instrumentation, and everything. I was like, this is kind of what I want.
It's so full and lush and just it feels big.
Yeah,
But
that's why getting to it is a little rocky.
Yeah.
It is like, I love Rocky Road, so put another scoop in my bowl, baby, or whatever.
Yeah.
It's kind
I
of like
think,
that.
and by the way, maybe he's not talking about Buckminster Fuller. I just looked up Buckminster Manifesting.
But that's what I looked him up too.
Yeah.
I just Googled Buckminster, and I used private search, of course, because I wasn't sure what was about to come up. But then I was like, but Nietzsche said God is dead. Nietzsche. Just, you know what you're doing, you scamp. You're a scoundrel. To put that on the Time magazine so early in life. Nietzsche. What are we going to do with you? That should have been a lyric, and he's like, Nietzsche. Harum.
What are we gonna do?
People are turning this off.
They didn't watch this one.
Well, what do you think about that? Well, because you can't find any information about this guy.
Yeah, well, maybe we just introduced you to your new favorite artist.
Hopefully you're looking for something on Lincoln, and then you hit this video and you're like, what are these two dumbass?
And hey, Link, if you're out there, we'd love to chat with you and interview you. That would be cool.
Put that first,
yeah.
just so when we start the album and I say I'm not into this.
Yeah, I'll put that first. So, hey, Lincoln, we love your album, and we would really like to chat with you if you ever want to hop on, and we'll interview you and get the word out about you because we really, really love you.
Well, now it seems kind of like a trap. But nonetheless.
Well, if it's entrapment, it's actually, our fault.
We've ended on a good note here, and I've none hard feelings for Landon for bringing me this album.
Very good.
And like I said, I'm interested to hear what his next.
Yeah.
As anyone we've kind of done that I'm like Jukebox the Ghost just put out a new song, and I'm like, oh, I wonder what that's all about.
You'll
so
probably hate that.
I like to follow. I haven't listened to it yet.
Yeah.
I did like. I kind of their last one was fine.
Yeah.
Their last single, but I want to see what he does next. I see the makings of the second best Lincoln in history.
Yes, I agree.
You're gonna have to do something pretty big to top the old top hatter himself.
Get killed.
Yeah, I mean, what else? You know,
That's all he did.
All he did was get killed.
Actually, a little bit better than Lincoln.
A little bit. Have you seen Lincoln with a monkey head? Mark Wahlberg sees him. Very strange. Very strange.
Actually, doing a little bit better than Lincoln. Doing a little bit better. Anyway, what do you rate Lincoln's
God.
Everything Is Wrong?
I'm taking what I like and what I would rate it as what I like and what he's trying to do and if he's succeeding there. Oh man. I'd say 6.5 because it's such a mixed album for me and it's maybe not what I listen to. Personally, I'd go lower, but to say it's a bad album is not true. That's why I go up a little bit. I say 6.5. Mm-hmm. Maybe sounds low. Maybe one of these days when we do our redux where we go through and say, did we give them the right ratings?
Yeah. We should do that.
We'll see when we do Earbuds Redux. So 6.5. I'm guessing that's lower than yours.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
I was going to go 7. So
okay. Yeah, so I'm right.
Yeah, but I think
7's good, right? 7's good for
I think so.
Second album. That's why I'm surprised we're so close.
Yeah,
but you also said, I don't know about this.
Yeah. I mean, I think like you, I see
funny colors, or
I see greatness ahead if he wants to carry on down this road. I think it sometimes is hard to. Sometimes like a debut album is the artist's best thing. Mm-hmm. Most of the time, it's not. No, and that's why a lot of I think what I've pulled too is like their somewhere in the middle. Where I'm kind of like feel like they got it here, which I should have done for Jukebox, but I didn't. I went with the debut album, and that's fine. But you wouldn't have liked that anyway. Yeah, maybe I would have said, hey, actually, I don't like this because I listened to it after listening to something I liked less. Yeah. You know what I mean? Huh? I listened to their first album, so listening to one of their new albums I said I like that better. Sure. But I had the basis of something I like less. Yeah. That's awesome. But anyway, great stuff, Lincoln. We look forward to. If you come out with a new album soon, we'll do a bonus episode. Sure. This just came out, so we probably won't be doing the show by the time you come out with a new album. No, I don't think so. I think we'll be long gone. We're really hitting it with the YouTube strikes by just playing music by every person, just long stretches of music. So based on that, let's just say I wasn't really sure, and I wanted to kind of stick with this streak of people no one's heard of. Kind of. So, this not as much, but
for you, I'll say it before you look it up because I want to.
I can't. My phone's dead.
Oh, yeah. And I was going to look it up for you on your phone. Just so. Well, so I was thinking someone else that's kind of new that hasn't been a favorite of mine for a long time. We did the Pink trilogy.
Yes.
And now I'm kind of wanted to go with the single name
New
guy
Boy trilogy.
New guy / band trilogy.
Okay.
And it was someone I named last week. I think that I don't know if you knew. I said Joe with a D as sort of a joke. When you said I'm bringing you a guy that's one name, and I said Joe with a D, and you said sure. But this is the thing, Joe. The album is Decide. It's spelled DJO. Do you know anything about this person, this band?
No, but I've seen it. Now that you say it.
Okay, but do you know? Okay, so you don't know anything about them.
Nope.
I want you to listen, if you can, listen to the album before you look up a photo. And like I know on Apple Music at least it gives you like a promo photo or for him it's like a video. And you can kind of you'll know why when I say listen to it through first or whatever. You get through it first. Because I think other people will know more about him. Mm-hmm. Do all the research you want after. But I want you to just go in cold and get the album before you learn about Joe.
And the album?
Decide. DJO, Joe, album, Decide. It's a guy holding a, what do you call that? Magic 8-ball on the cover. So you'll know it when you see it and you're going to laugh. But that's what I say. That I want to close out the trilogy of single named fellows. Why, I don't know. Again, someone that I'm kind of like, I'm interested in this and I've listened to it quite a bit.
Sure.
Is it something I'm like, this is going to be a favorite for me of all time? That's to be determined.
I think maybe we've also both been a little bit hurt.
Maybe, yeah.
Recently, so we're trying to separate ourselves a little bit.
A little bit.
But we'll come back.
And I'm also trying to bring in what's a different sound, something interesting to me, just feeling out what you're into.
Yeah.
And then before I bring you whatever.
Yeah.
But we'll see what that leads you to. So if you're out there, everyone, listen to Joe's Decide. And Landon, this is going to be his first time listening to it. That's ever so exciting. And I think it is like a sub 40-minute one too. So
hey, I'm not worried about that.
But if you hate it, but I don't. I think you'll have some fun. And out there, earbuds, throw up your inverted butt cheeks. We love you. Thanks, Lincoln, for coming along this ride with us.
Yep.
And the Cigarro shirts are available on the web store from the System of a Down episode. You can do the Cigarro dance along with us if we come to your town. Like and subscribe. We always forget to say that.
You know what we could do? Lincoln could do the Cigarro on his TikTok. That gets like 100 likes per video.
If he's doing like a reaction video to us,
yeah,
and so us doing it to his song, and he's like,
"Oh yeah,
that's kind of funny," or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Lincoln, if you're out there, do that.
Thank you for doing that for us.
We
will send you
it.
some signed. What do we have? I don't know. Just I don't think we'll. Yeah.
We'll send you this signed picture of Jake Lloyd from from Star Wars.
From Anakin.
Played Anakin. He actually does like Star Wars still.
Yes, his mom said so. So it's all good.
Everything's fine.
Bye.
Each week we listen to an album, here's a remind. Just know it's gonna take about 3 hours of your time to hear us complain or praise each other's taste. But no matter what, at the end of the day, we're just best friends who love different music. We are earbuds, this is earbuds.